Hi everybody, it's Maria from MC Online Biz. How are you guys today? I hope you guys are just awesome. And I'm just great. Absolutely great. More than great. Awesome, actually. Because, sorry, I missed you guys for the last couple of days, but I really had to take care of really some important stuff. And that's what led to my video today. Because what happened to me in the last couple of days really made me realize some really important stuff. And I've been reading and implementing into my life and my business the principles of Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. And just to give you an example of how important these principles are, if you apply them in your life, they really actually work. I'm the proof of it. Because to share a little bit with you, for you to understand, I've been struggling to sell my house in Dalhousie, New Brunswick for the last 2 years. And it really put me in a really difficult financial situation, because alone with my 3 kids after I split up with the father of my youngest, having to take care of this house all by myself, it really was too much for me to handle. And so for the past 2 years I've been struggling to sell it. And now, since I moved back to Montreal, where my family is, my immediate family is, and I didn't care if the house was sold or not or whatever. I had to make the move because I wanted to come back to my family for my kids. They were missing the family and everything, and we moved there after my husband died in 2008. Just to have a change of air and everything. We needed to breathe and to get back on our feet. And now the kids wanted to come back closer to our immediate family. They missed their grandfather and their aunt and everything. So we moved back, and I wanted to wait for my house to be sold before I moved. But it's been 2 years. It's still not sold. It wasn't not sold. So I said, what the heck? I'm moving and it's gonna get sold. And in the meantime, I started to read the Think and Grow Rich book and to apply the principles. And with applying these principles, well, in the last couple of days, I got a solution to my house. It's not entirely sold, but it's just as good. So I really got a solution for my house that I've been struggling to get for 2 years, because I have applied these principles. And today I want to share with you a passage of the book that really is a major passage, because if you don't fully understand these lines, you're gonna struggle to achieve success, like I did for selling my house the past 2 years. The wind is taking off my papers. So I'm gonna read that to you, and just cut everything out and listen. I'm gonna put it in writing also in my blog post, so you guys can read it for yourself and come back to it. Get the book if you can also, read it thoroughly. But this passage of this is just a passage from the introduction, so imagine how powerful the rest of the book might be. But this, you really need to understand this, how important this is, and before you get to the rest. And this passage really talks about our dominating thoughts. because he's talking about Hentley, who wrote that you are the master of your faith, the captain of your soul. Because when Hentley wrote these prophetic lines, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul, he should have informed us that we are the master of our fate and captains of our souls, because we have the power to control our thoughts. He should have told us that the ether in which this little earth floats, in which we move and have our being, is a form of energy moving at an inconceivably high rate of vibration, and that the ether is filled with a form of universal power which adapts itself to the nature of the thoughts we hold in our minds and influences us in natural ways to transmute our thoughts in their physical equivalent. If the poet had told us of this great truth, we would know why it is that we are masters of our faith and captains of our souls. He should have told us with great emphasis that this power makes no attempt to discriminate between destructive thoughts and constructive thoughts. That is, that it will urge us to translate into physical reality thoughts of poverty just as quick as it will influence us to act upon thoughts of riches. He should have told us, too, that our brains become magnetized with the dominating thoughts which we hold in our minds, and means with which no man is familiar. These magnets attract to us the forces, the people, the circumstances of life which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thoughts. He should have told us that before we can accumulate riches in great abundance, we must magnetize our minds with intense desire for riches, that we must become money conscious until the desire for money drives us to create definite plans for acquiring it. And the author writes also that we have to remember that as we go through the book, that it deals with facts and not fiction, and its purpose is to convey a great universal truth through which all who are ready may learn not only what to do, but also how to do it, and receive as well the needed stimulus to make a start. So these are one of the major passage to me in the book, because if we are not conscious that the universe around us, that our thoughts are really matter. Our thoughts are things. They're not things that we can touch, but it's like radio waves that as soon as any thoughts that come through your mind, it's like you sending radio waves in the universe, and the universe sends you whatever you want. So if you have positive thoughts, it's going to send you what you ask for. But if you have destructive thoughts, it's going to send you also what you ask for. So you really need to put your thoughts right, to have the right thoughts in your mind if you want to get to your goal. Because like me, for the past 2 years, for my house, to give you an example that you all understand, the past 2 years I've been struggling to sell my house. Yes, I wanted to sell it, but there was always a thought in the back of my mind that was like, yeah, but if it doesn't work, I'm going to be able to do this, or I'm going to do that. Or I always had a thought of what if, or I always had like a plan B. But when I decided to move to Montreal, this just crushed my plan B. I said, the heck with it. I don't want no plan Bs. I don't want no whatsoever. I packed my stuff, I moved, and I said, this house has to go. In my mind, when I moved, my house would be sold by the end of the summer. And I moved, I made that decision this spring, April, May. I said, no, well, not earlier than that, because I had to give my notice in March. Yeah, because I had an apartment. It's a long story, but I wasn't living in the house, but I had an apartment, and I needed to get rid of the apartment, and I needed to give a notice to my landlord that I was leaving. So I needed to give a 3 months notice to my landlord before I'd move at the end of June. So end of March, I had to talk to my landlord. So that's when I made the decision, the heck with it, I'm gonna move. And so I decided to move. So I started packing my stuff. And when my lease on my apartment was over at the end of June, I rented a truck, packed my stuff, and got back to Montreal. So, and in my mind, my house would be sold by the end of the summer. So we are now August 19, and the last couple of days I had an offer on the house, and it's just as good as sold. So when you focus, sometimes the Napoleon Hill states that also in the book, because sometimes your opportunity has a bad habit of sneaking by the back door. And it might look like a setback, a temporary setback or whatever. Because like now with my house, it's not sold like I have the money in my hands, but I got an offer on it. It's just as good as sold. So it's just as good as sold. So it's just as good as having the money in my hands. So that's why you need to keep your mind open, because your opportunity might not necessarily show exactly how you imagine it, but you need to have your mind open to seek whatever kind of opportunity that can come for what you're seeking. So on that, my friends, I'm not going to hold you any longer. It's almost a 15-minute video today. It's a bit longer than usual, but it's really, really important, and it's really the basic for you to understand. If you want to achieve success, it's all starting in your mind, my friends. So remember that. If you want to go back on my blog post and read this passage, because I'm going to write it word for word from the book in my blog post, so you guys can read it and go back to it. So on that, my friends, I'm going to wish you an awesome day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.